hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
What?
I didn't change it. Mass isn't on episode 72, not 71 like the title says.
We're actually 73.
73.
I think.
Yeah. This one says 72. I'll have to go back and
How dare you?
I know.
How dare you? Well, lucky for you, I forgive you.
I appreciate it.
Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry.
Just like that.
You know, but what's going on, brother? What's up?
Nothing, man. It's Monday.
Happy Monday. No fights this past weekend.
Nope.
No fights this past weekend. But that doesn't mean there wasn't a whole bunch of basketball for me to lose money on.
Dude, what's going on in basketball right now? Is it like the playoffs or some shit?
No.
Oh,
There's just so many games.
Where are they in the season?
I think about halfway. I think it's almost All-Star weekend, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't watch any fucking basketball.
So it's it's at a point like around this time, there's so many games on. Like so many games. Like on a Sunday, there'll be 10 games on.
10 games?
Yeah.
How many teams are there in the league?
Jeez, man. You asked me all. Let me see. I don't know. That's a good question.
How many? Right. You don't have to answer
teams?
That question.
I'm curious. How many NBA teams? Because as a person that watches basketball as much as I do, I should know that 30 teams.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely possible. You know, you could actually have more than that. You have like 25 games on. You know.
Yeah, you can't have 25 games on because it's two teams to play a game.
I'm sorry. I meant 15 games.
Yeah, you can't have 15
because I said there's like 10
on.
games on.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. And then, you know what? Basketball is kind of like baseball in the sense that like the games are played in like a series, right?
Yeah, not all the time. But later on they are. Like during sometimes like a 3-game series, like just so they don't travel so much.
Oh, so you'll play one team today and then another team tomorrow?
Typically, they give like a travel day in between.
But in general, because you know how baseball, it's not like baseball then. You understand? You get like the comparison I'm trying to make? Because baseball, you play the same team for like, what is it? X amount of games.
Like usually like 3 games. Like 2 or 3 games. There'll be like a short stint so that you're not traveling so much.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll play another team. You usually don't play like one team and then you play one game and then you play another game.
Exactly. And that's why you get things like, you know, you get to use marketing things like the Subway Series, where it's the Mets versus the Yankees, and it's a 3-game series or something.
Yeah. Damn, I have so many questions now that come to my mind. I don't want to put you on the spot, though.
About what, basketball?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's see if I got it. Let's see if I got it, bro. What kind of questions you got?
How many times a year do the teams play each other? Like, do you see the same team 4 times a year?
No, I think it's a couple. I think a couple times.
Yeah,
a few times.
A lot of games.
No, it actually could be. Yeah, it actually could be. I was watching a comparison before I made another losing bet. I was actually making a comparison between, I was checking like how these two particular teams did versus each other earlier in the season. It was actually, I think, the Bulls and the Trailblazers. I ended up not putting money on there, which I should have because DeMar DeRozan would have made me so much money. But I didn't bet that one, of course. I did extensive research. Extensive. By extensive, I mean I looked at what happened the last 3 times these teams played.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
You know, and they had played multiple times, like 3 or 4 times in a season.
Okay.
So
3 or 4 times in a season.
Yeah.
If you beat me 3 times already this season, that 4th time, you know I'm coming for you.
Yeah. But basketball is weird because there's so many throwaway games. Essentially, like I mean, you play so many games during the season that really. You have so many. It's like having an exam with 200 questions on it. You know, it's like, yeah, I could afford to lose 20 of these. I could afford to lose 30 of these and still be in good shape.
Do people play like every minute of every game? Does anybody play like every minute of every game?
No, not usually. I mean, there's guys that are freaks like LeBron and shit. He does like 45 minutes a game, and the game is 48 minutes.
Savage.
He plays almost the whole. He's a goddamn animal, that guy. I don't know where he came from. I don't know what's in his DNA, but the guy, I don't think he's ever been injured. I've like never seen LeBron out not for rolling an ankle, not for pulling a hamstring, not for spraining a finger. That fool is always on the court. Like always. Not like, I don't know.
And he's been playing since he was super young, right? When he came into the league right out of high school?
Yeah, he came right out of high school, and I remember I was watching him, and I underestimated him because he was like dunking on like these 4-foot kids in Catholic school and shit. He was just dunking on all these kids with mushroom haircuts. He was just yamming on everybody, and I was like, get out of here. I was like, let's see what's up when he played with some real motherfuckers out here. He was busting every motherfucker's ass.
Did he just come in and came in hot and just like cracking fools off the jump, or was he kind of like?
Nah, he came in kind of like Kobe. Like, I think he was an All-Star his first season also. Like, Kobe came in right at, he was 18 years old, windmilling in the All-Star game. I mean, he was 18.
Can you imagine being 18?
Yeah, man. And being that
in the NBA?
Every time I see one of these young kids, they look like children sometimes. Like the rookies and stuff, when they're playing, I'm like, this looks like a little kid. Looks like a little kid that lives on my block.
He's
I'm like,
just going off.
And he's making like $10, $15 million playing professional basketball. And then I just reflect on where I was when I was 18. And I'm like, probably best for the planet that I didn't get that kind of money and fame when I was 18.
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy to call LeBron an athlete and then like call somebody else an athlete. But then again, there's people who really are like playing other professional sports that everybody would consider an athlete, but standing next to him, they're like,
yeah, I mean, you know me, athlete has a special.
No,
you got some requirements to be an athlete.
Yeah, LeBron James fits that category.
Yes, LeBron James fits that category. LeBron has like redefined that category.
Has there been a lot of people just come straight from high school into the NBA?
There used to be more. Now they have this stupid rule where you have to do like a year in college.
What?
Or or like a year in like prep school or something like that. You have to do that kind of. It's something like that. Like you can't come right out of high school. But a lot of good players came right out of high school. Kevin Garnett came out of high school. Kobe came out of high school. LeBron James came out of high school. I remember back in the day, you remember Sean Kemp? Used to be on all the McDonald's cups. He played for the Sonics. He was a savage, too. He came straight out of high school. There's been quite a few.
Damn, I didn't know there was that many.
Oh, yeah. There's quite a few.
I didn't even know that Kobe. Where was Kobe from? What city was he from? Do you know that?
Damn, I can't remember. I want to say, let me not even sit here and guess.
Because, and why I'm asking.
You want to do it? You want to look it up?
No, I'm looking at the chat.
Oh, all right. What happened? Who's in the chat?
Why I'm asking is, the reason I'm asking is because I wonder, like, if they're from, like, because, there's states that are known for, like, for, like, sports. Like, specifically, like, the down south. Down south, like, they take sports very serious over there.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they take football very serious. I remember talking to a friend who was like an all-star out here, and he wasn't a friend. He was a kid I went to high school with, and he was like an all-star football player. And he would go down south every summer to practice. He would go to like camps down there. And one time I asked him, I was like, "What's like? Are you nice out there? Like, are you going out there and you cracking fools?" And he was like, "Nah." He was like, "Football in the South is serious." He goes, "And these boys are big."
Yeah, they're big boys, and they have the high school football arenas down there are bigger than college football arenas up here.
Some fun facts. Thank you very much, Tom. LeBron went 8 years without his first significant injury, which was just cramping.
Yeah, look at that.
Years.
He's a savage, I'm telling you.
Holy shit.
And it's not just 8 years for a regular guy. He don't sit outside, outside the arc and shoot threes, like, and avoid contact. He doesn't play basketball like a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
He plays like a football, like a running back.
Yeah, so, he'll tuck the ball and he'll drive right through traffic. He gets hit. He got 3 guys hanging on his jersey, and he's still flying through the air, like, still dunking on everybody. And to play that aggressively and to be in the paint and slash into the basket as much as he does and be defended and double teamed and hacked as much as he is, to not have injuries, it's like preposterous. It's
damn.
It's really something to behold. Like, and me, listen, you know me. I'm not a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
But you got to give the man credit when, he's a genetic specimen. That guy is.
Yeah. Jesus, good for him.
Yeah, it's weird.
And Kobe's from Philly, by the way.
Yes, Tom. I got that right here.
Which,
but
I didn't know.
Which I should have known that. There's some ballers that come from like inner cities, like Philly, like Brooklyn, New York. Like there's some ballers that come out of here. And there's also some ballers that'll be at the park that could probably beat, multiple guys in the NBA in a one-on-one. But they decided to do other things with their life.
They didn't they didn't do that year of prep school.
Yeah, nah, they didn't get around to that. SAT, nah, I never sat the bench. I don't do SATs. I ain't never
Cam
sat.
says that, is it Cam that says it all the time? Cam Runner says that if he didn't rap, he could have been in the NBA.
Oh no, he
I
used
know
to really ball
I know
up.
he used to ball up. I used to see him but he played high school or he played college?
He played high school, but I'm pretty sure that he had like a ride to play in college, and he just didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a few guys that can really ball. Like they say, the game can ball. People say the game can ball. Lloyd Banks can ball.
Remember Mike Jones?
Yeah, he couldn't play no ball.
Are you crazy, bro? You stop it right now, bro. I used to think the same thing, and then I seen videos of him like balling up.
Yeah,
Yo, Mike Jones
balling up
is
for
nice.
real.
Like street ball. I didn't see him like in a.
Oh, he was like crossing over this high and like touching the ground.
We're
and shit
talking
like
about
that.
Mike Jones, the rapper from Houston, from Texas. I don't know if he's from Houston.
Yeah, he's from Texas. Yeah.
So at that time when like he was coming out, when Paul Wall was out, they all had like 6XL t-shirts. So he's in a basketball jersey with that shit backwards on, and he's just like he's showing off his handle. That's the video I seen.
Damn,
And,
that's what's up. There's certain guys ball up. Like, you ever see Chris Brown play ball?
That motherfucker's an athlete.
Chris, that's an athlete.
Yeah, he
Chris
could do
Brown.
a backflip in a phone booth.
Yeah, he definitely could. And not spill a drop of his drink.
Not a.
For real, bro. But good segue.
Yeah, speaking of Chris Brown. Speaking of Chris Brown, Rihanna's pregnant. But not by Chris Brown, by A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, a little A$AP baby.
Yeah, a little A$AP baby.
Got a little new member to the A$AP mob. Okay.
That kid's gonna be so jiggy.
What do you think he's going to name him? You think he's going to name him Yams?
R.I.P. Yams. I don't know. They're definitely gonna have like some. I bet they have to have some like interesting name. I didn't even think about that, but I wonder what they're gonna name.
His name's going to be like Pasa or some shit.
It's
They're going to be
gonna
like,
be
it's
some weird
A$AP
shit.
backwards. And you're going to be like, damn it, I knew it. I
That's
couldn't even
actually
figure it
fire.
out. It was right in front of me.
If they did that, I wouldn't have been. I won't be mad.
Yeah, I really wouldn't doubt if he pays some kind of tribute to Yams on this on naming his kid.
Yeah, neither would I.
I really wouldn't. Imagine that kid came out with like a birthmark like his.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Bro, I'm like, oh my God, it's a sign, son. Oh my God, imagine that. Just came out with like a glowing birthmark like
Can you-
Yams.
In the center of that forehead, though.
Listen, man, that should give him powers, bro. For real.
I don't know why celebrity babies are so interesting, but it is interesting.
I find it interesting that Rihanna of all people, like Rihanna's so coveted now, like she's like queen. She surpassed pretty much any female like pop singer or something like that in terms of like acceptance and like street cred, and then being able to cross over. Like, you know how big
She's good everywhere she goes.
bro. Do you know how big her makeup line is?
You talking about Fenty? What's
Yeah.
it called?
Yeah, Fenty.
No, yeah, I'm sure it's very big.
It is huge. Like, it's like Fenty Beauty. It's like different because she has Fenty sneakers and Fenty clothing and shit. But the Fenty Beauty line, like their makeup, is so popular, bro.
I know there's a lot of money in that shit. You know who be making fucking hella money off that shit? Jeffree Star.
Yeah,
YouTuber. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he makes makeup though.
Yeah, he makes makeup.
Really?
They all make makeup. All those
All YouTube like influencers,
like,
right?
Not influencers, but people who like in that realm of YouTube. I think they do like the makeup tutorial people. And just like I guess female and males that wear makeup influencers.
Yeah, it's
A lot of them have
You're
makeup lines.
You're right. There's
Ever since Kim Kardashian, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, you're good. You're good.
Ever since Kim Kardashian and not Kim Kardashian, Kylie,
Yeah.
motherfuckers knew this bagging that shit. They were like, "Oh, word."
I think it might have even been before that. Like there's certain ones that like my girl used to watch Jaclyn Hill, who's this one from there. She came out with a makeup line. I think it kind of flopped. Then there's another one, Desi Perkins is her name. And she has like makeup lines and stuff. Like, she's so big from doing makeup on YouTube. Like, she's got videos doing Kim makeup with like Kim Kardashian. Like, she's doing Kim Kardashian's makeup. That's how big she got doing that.
Makeup is enormous on the internet. When you go to I wonder what percentage it takes up of YouTube. Like, makeup tutorials and makeup reviews. There's a whole entire like wormhole. If I'm afraid to even type in makeup on my fucking YouTube page because it might just convert everything. It might be just so overwhelming that it takes over the whole algorithm. I just started getting suggested nothing but like makeup tutorials.
My girl and I had to split the YouTube channel. We had to make like a separate account.
Oh yeah.
It was getting crazy. I was like, man, more architectural digest of like Vanessa Hudgens' house. I'm like, okay.
Dude, I don't even let my kid use my YouTube account. Are you kidding me?
Forget it, man. You have nothing but Peppa Pig on there.
Yeah, bro. No, none of that. None of that, bro. She has her own YouTube account. I have my own YouTube account. My girl got her own YouTube account.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, everybody's same thing with my music and shit like that. I don't want nobody like you're gonna be fucking up my suggestions. The suggestions.
Yeah, because it happens and it's like a plague.
Yeah, bro.
Anything that is clicked on, forget it, bro. You know how long it took me to get the lawnmower guys off my suggested after I started watching that guy that cuts people's grass? I still want to watch the guy, but I can't watch him because it'll just be like YouTube started getting this idea that I'm like a horticulturist or something like that because I was watching this guy. So next thing you know, I'm getting John Deere reviews and shit thrown at me, and I'm getting like all this stuff. I'm like, yo, I don't care about this ride-on mower.
I definitely found that guy from like watching like a grow tent video, and then I get sucked into his video. And for people who don't know what we're talking about, a little bit of context, there's people on YouTube that cut grass. And they just record themselves cutting grass. But even better than that, there's successful ones that what they'll do is they'll go to people's houses because like the internet loves like shock value, you know what I'm saying? And what's more like, you know, and wholesome stuff. This is shocking and wholesome. But they'll go to people's houses and that their lawns will like overrun or like, you know, just look crazy. And they'll say, hey, I'll come over and I'll cut the grass for free. And there's nothing, I don't know. It doesn't pass its time like watching a dude, you know, cut a 3-foot lawn down and making it look nice again.
Bro, I just get obsessed with the progress, with watching the progress. Like, so like the further he goes and he I'm like, no way. I'm like, what kind of tools? Oh, the mower went over that? Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn. And my dad's over here telling me the lawnmower will just flatten out all the grass. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you got to cut it every 3 days or else it'll never cut. And I'm like,
this guy's got like industrial equipment.
Yeah, it's high level shit. Like that's black belt grass cutting.
Yeah, that ain't no regular deck. You know what I've been doing lately? My boy Tom put me on to watching YouTube videos, but turning up the speed.
Yes.
I've been watching shit like on 1.5x, and I feel like I'm able to take in, and this sounds crazy, right? But I'm able to take in like so much more. Like I'm even able to tolerate videos that I would like kind of be halfway through and be like, I don't really want to watch this. And then I look at the bottom and there's like 3 minutes left, and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to finish it. I'll even like watch things out like through now.
Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, I'm sure it's effective and I'm sure it helps and shit, but I can't do that. I'm that way when I'm driving just because I grew up driving in New York. So I feel like everything's too slow for me. Yeah. If I start doing that kind of shit, I'll be like, oh, the real world is too slow.
It's good for podcasts.
I'll be like, cooking is too slow. I wish I could fast forward my eggs. Like, I can't do that.
Yo,
shit.
But when you can, you gotta take advantage. Like when I'm listening to podcasts that like I'm listening from like I'm listening from an entertainment perspective, but I also want to learn. And I'm like halfway through and I'm like, damn, I don't want to fucking listen to any more fucking woodwork podcasts anymore. Like just turn it up. And I'm just more than anything, I'm just surprised that I'm able to intake the information. Cause I was listening to it. I was listening to a podcast in my pocket and I was in the living room and my girl goes, are they on fast forward? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, stop that. It's like freaking me out. She's like, it's like annoying me. It's like, and I'm like, she's like, I can't even understand it. She goes, I'm trying to like listen to it and I just can't understand it. And I'm like, I don't know. It just works for me.
Yeah,
not everything.
Yeah.
But some things.
I'm consciously not doing that because I'll go over the top with it. I'll be like, yeah, you tried that? Have you tried 2X?
No, I think 1.75, which is the next value up, is like a little too fast. I could do it, but it's like unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm deliberately trying to stay away from that. Like I'm doing the best I can, you know.
Spaz in the chat says the guy who makes thousands of dollars cutting someone's lawn for free. I'm glad I'm not the only one who's been sucked down that rabbit hole. I told you.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's like you said, it is wholesome though. It's wholesome. Like, you know, the guy's like, this old guy comes out. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm just going to cut this for free.
Yeah.
And the guy's in Florida that I was talking about. And this guy, when he starts cutting the grass, all of a sudden some big as hell starts like running through the grass, like away from him.
What?
Yeah, and he's like, must have been something in here. He's like, just kind of took off running. You saw like all the grass was like, I was like, oh hell no, that was like a jaguar or some shit.
Yeah,
I was like, hell no, get the hell out of here.
I'll tell
bro.
you right now, I am so afraid of like wild animals. It's like unbelievable. Like I'd rather be.
You should be.
Yeah, it's.
You fucking should be.
The other day, I'm telling you, like raccoons, fucking squirrels, birds. We've talked about my history with birds on this podcast very early on. If you're an OG fan,
Well, wait, you're scared of all those things?
I don't like those things.
Okay.
Possums I could deal with.
Of all those things, possums, yuck. Possums are the worst. You scared of a squirrel?
They're the least agile. A squirrel? You're gonna have a tough time with a squirrel. And not only that, but a mama squirrel is like one of the most like possessive like animals. Like they're crazy about their babies.
Yeah, so you think it'll just jump on you? You think it'll just? What
That's
do you think
best
it'll
case
go
scenario.
for?
Best case scenario just jumps on you because then I could grab by the tail and then just Hadouken, flip it down into the ground. I already know what I'm.
Yeah, right. So you go like this, and that thing just grabs you.
Nah, bro.
Stop playing.
I'm gonna swing with so much force. My ring's gonna come off. If I got a ring on, that shit, my watch is gonna come off.
You think so, bro? Everybody got a whole lot of plans.
It's gravity, bro. The centrifugal force, bro. I'm telling you, it can't. They don't even got opposable thumbs. That thing ain't gonna monkey grip on me like that.
Are you kidding me? You never seen that shit? Just pick up that shit'll just pick up an acorn like it's about to throw a four-seam fastball. You never seen that? Stop playing, bro. You're crazy.
I bet you I grabbed that fucking acorn out that thing's hand. I bet you I could grab it out of it.
Bro, you ain't grabbing nothing.
Not a wild one. I'm saying if they got a controlled squirrel and it's me versus him, I'm pulling that fucking thing out of his hand because that's how his hands are real good for what he does every day. They're not gonna monkey grip on me. No way.
So you're thinking,
worst case scenario, he does like a multiple attack where he like bites you over here, then runs up your back and bites you over there, and then runs to the other side of you and like bites another piece of you. Like that's worst case scenario.
He's got a stick and move?
Yeah, stick and move is worst case scenario because then I don't even think you could stop, drop, and roll that. But that would be my next move. If he did the stick and move, I would stop, drop, and roll.
Good luck, bro, because I'm telling you, that thing is going to be quick, agile. He's going to be running all over you and scratching and.
That's why that's why I feel the way I feel about them.
All right, I guess you're right. A possum moves like an ottoman. With legs. You know what I'm saying? That thing's going to be.
Possum's not going to do that to me.
I feel you.
And a raccoon, you got a better chance than against a squirrel.
I don't know about that. Raccoons are big and they don't give a fuck. You ever look at a raccoon? A raccoon will just look at you like, you ain't doing shit.
Are you talking about them Brooklyn raccoons, right?
I'm talking about the ones that, I saw a raccoon sunning this big ass cat. There's a big cat where I live, and it's like terrifying. It's always like in the parking lot and shit. And it's like no matter what the weather is, it's just raining, and that shit'll just be out there like,
oh, I hate that.
Just looking at you, just the gutterest, like scariest cat. I saw that thing getting punked out by a goddamn raccoon. That thing was standing there watching a raccoon eat his food. He was like, and that scary cat was like, oh, leave me some. He
was just waiting for him to finish so he could go eat.
Bro, he wanted to eat. The cat was just staring at him. And the raccoon just stopped eating. He just looked at me like.
Yeah, yours.
Like you ain't doing
Someone's been
nothing.
feeding that raccoon by you. I had raccoons when I bought this house. It was raccoons. It's a family of raccoons living in my attic. Had to catch them motherfuckers.
Damn.
Yep.
You got them all?
I got the one that mattered.
That's right. You got
them followed.
That's it. You got the captain.
Yep. I got the mama raccoon.
That's right. That's all that matters.
This thing was enormous, bro.
I bet it was, bro, and aggressive probably.
It wasn't aggressive. I trapped it. I trapped it in a trap.
You trapped it in a trap.
Yep. Well, I don't want to mislead people. I don't want people to think I got like a shoestring or something up there and like I trapped it like that.
You tied a snare by yourself.
No. I got this. I went to Home Depot and I bought this like metal trap essentially, and I put it on their exit because I knew they were up there. It was the middle of the day. Raccoons are nocturnal. They come out at night. So I put it on the exit, and around like, I don't know, maybe like 9, 10 o'clock at night, I hear the trap just slam shut. And I remember being in bed. And I remember that day somebody telling me, I used to keep raccoons as a kid, as a pet. He's like, no way you catch that thing. They're way too smart. They're not going to go into that trap. And I heard the trap slam shut. And I got up out of bed and I told my girl, I was like, that motherfucker was wrong at work. I got him. I got him. Fucking got on the ladder, got on my roof in the middle of the night. Fucking got him. And
the rest is history.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Filled up a garbage can with water. You can imagine what I did with the rest of it.
He was a thirsty little guy.
I'm kidding. I drove him away. I remember looking up online, like, how far could they travel back? And they were like 15 miles. I was like, fuck, 15 miles. It's so far from here. And I remember getting on the highway and like going all the way to Mastic. And I'm saying to myself, why the fuck am I driving this far? No fucking way. I could drop this thing off, across from the highway and he'll never make it back.
Yeah, right. He'll get right back to your house with luggage and be like...
Did you just catch that thing?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Good for you.
My goddamn. Now I'm a ninja. I don't know if you knew. I'm an athlete.
I didn't. That's very athletic.
That ain't no gamer shit.
I wish a camera would have picked that up. But you think he would have made it back if I would have just took him like 2 or 3 miles away?
Yeah. He would have showed up and been like, moratorium's not over, son. Here I am.
I need to know, like, how they test that. Did they test that? Like, is that 15 miles as the crow flies? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of 15 miles is that?
That's a good question. I mean,
I technically took that motherfucker like 35 miles away.
So does that mean that he could just make it back, but kind of in 2 trips?
I don't. Oh,
like, does he go 15 miles at a time, or he's got a 15-mile radius from which he'd be able to detect his way back?
That's very interesting. I didn't.
Because what if he was just like 15 miles, 15 miles back home?
Huh? I didn't think about that.
Touche, my friend.
You're right, though.
Touche.
But he never made it back, and that closed the exit, so he could never. But I didn't know there was baby raccoons in there, and then there was.
And then you took him out and you brought him to a sanctuary, and they were nursed back to full health. They were
sanctuary.
Good, and then
they were a Bronx one.
All right, there you go, a Bronx raccoon sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They gave him a fresh pair of Timberlands when he got there.
He did, didn't they? God damn it, I knew it. I knew it.
No, but no, I didn't do anything to the babies. They just let them go. They couldn't get back on my roof. You want to?
What you got?
You want to get into the? A couple weeks ago, there's this story that came out. We didn't really talk about it. It was like everywhere. I'm sure everybody has heard of it already, but there were trains in Los Angeles that were being like ransacked and like robbed. And there's images you see, like news reporters and images in the news of just a bunch of just garbage, just packages. They were like Amazon packages everywhere. And now I hear today that there was also amongst like all the other shit that was stolen there, where they're like laptops. You couldn't imagine. It was stuff from Amazon. So you could buy anything from Amazon.
Yeah.
And in addition to the stuff from Amazon that was on the trains, there were also firearms there that was stolen. Supposedly, like, there's a bunch of guns missing too. Now they're finding out because they don't know. They know what's missing, but they don't know where anything is because put up the picture so people could see it.
Yeah.
There's still a bunch of stuff there.
Yeah, so in this image, you see a bunch of like the scrap packages in the boxes after they've been opened. So there are numbers as crazy as they were saying 90 plus shipping containers were being broken into daily.
That's insane.
Every single day. So all those packages, so like all these packages here that are on the tracks, these are all ones that have been ripped open and the contents has been stolen. So if you're not getting your packages, if you're not getting your deliveries and stuff like that from Amazon that you're expecting, chances are it may have just been ripped open on the tracks in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So they were like comparing it to like old school train robberies. They were like, this is so crazy because the trains don't even have to stop. This is an area where the train temporarily stops. So that's when everybody jumps on with bolt cutters and they just bust open the shipping containers and steal everything.
Yeah, nobody's even over there. It's not even like they're doing it like at a train station or something like that. It's just
and they were saying like all they have to do is slow down. Once the trains start to slow down, like they may come to a stop, people just jump on the trains. Like it's like,
damn, who's the first dude, right? Who's the first one that's like, yo, man, that train stops there every day.
I mean, I'm sure it was happening on a smaller level for a very long time, and it's just now with like the just like decreases in like cash bail and stuff, and like people just not being held and people just not being charged for crimes under a certain level. I think it's just kind of those people are realizing that it's almost worth the risk.
Yeah. I wonder what they're doing with all that garbage there. Has that been cleaned up? Because that's a lot of garbage.
Yeah, it's a lot of garbage. I mean, we're seeing there are countless images. I mean, I doubt all these images were taken on the same day, so I'm sure that there's still a bunch of trash there. I'm
just saying LA's got enough trash in their street, right?
Yeah, they got enough stuff going on over there. They need to fix that place, man. That's the most beautiful state, and I hope that they figure out what's going on over there.
Well, it's not it's a lot I wonder, is it a lot of California, or is it more California that's still like you could go there and it's nice, or is a lot of it like homeless infested or like tents or drug encampments?
I mean,
because it's got to be like most of it's got to be still good.
There's good parts of it for sure.
People tell me one of my friends used to live in San Francisco, and this is an older person, and they lived there years ago, and they went back a couple years ago, and they were like, "Yo, it was like she was like it was unrecognizable." Mm-hmm. She was like, "There was just people shooting up in the street." She was like, "San Francisco used to be like something else."
Yeah, San Francisco is still, to this day, the most expensive city to live in the country.
Yeah.
To this day, it's more expensive than Manhattan. It's more expensive than, in terms of cost of living, cost of housing. And I would never in a million years pay the levels of money they have to pay to live there to come out and have somebody taking a shit in my driveway. You got to be kidding me. If that's what you think is happening where I'm living at,
that's funny.
I will leave immediately.
It's a city. It's like a city as in like area their houses.
Like San Francisco?
Yeah, it's a city. Like big buildings and shit. I've never been to San Francisco, so excuse my ignorance.
Yeah, they have buildings. They have buildings. They have houses. Like it's more like a kind of like a. From what I've seen, I haven't been there either, but from like images and shit I've seen in movies and documentaries, it's kind of set up almost like Queens kind of.
Yeah, okay.
They're like houses, but like smaller property and stuff.
Like Full House. That was in San Francisco.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
So
tall, slender buildings.
It's just I don't know to cost that much. It's and that's what you're getting for what you're paying. But there's this weird. Not as many people are leaving there as I think should be. Like common sense would tell you that way more people would be exiting.
Well, a lot of people are there for work, right? That's Silicon Valley, right? It's
yeah.
It can, or at least it either consists of some of Silicon Valley or it is all Silicon Valley, whatever it is. Because I truly don't know, but a lot of people probably just have to be there.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. I mean, apparently Facebook just acquired like a very, very substantial size piece of property. I think in either Florida or Texas. I forget which one they said.
It's interesting to me that these big, huge companies don't do like just go into like, Utah, like, middle of America. Like, why do they really have to be in California?
They really don't. I think at this point, it's just kind of, I think they're just, it's like a club, and there's kind of, that virtue signaling and stuff like that. They act like they want to help and stuff and provide resources and shit like that. And I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't make any sense. If it were, I would be long gone out of there. I would not, raise my kids there. It's just weird.
You want to touch on Joe Rogan's response to all the, to what we spoke about last week, essentially, which was the Neil Young pulling his music off of Spotify. Since then, other artists that I don't give a fuck about have also pulled their music off of Spotify. And what was it, today or yesterday that Rogan put out a response?
Today, I think it was this morning I saw it. And yeah, he just made a statement saying that that there's a lot of there's a lot of controversy, and he feels that he has to address it. Which I wish he never said anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. But he he made a statement saying that that the people that he has on his show are more than qualified to be talking about what they talk about. which I agree with, because that was what I said originally. I was like, it's not like he's sitting up there just talking nonsense. He's having people on that are credentialed, qualified, educated, and actually contribute to the space that they're discussing. So he just touched on that and was like, and he addressed the term schmission for schmation, which everybody always wants to talk about misinformation it's this kind of this taboo. This is made up. Nobody really has a definition for misinformation. It's just if you don't agree with what somebody wants you to agree with, they call it misinformation. So
is that the new fake news?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it would be probably used interchangeably. At this point in terms of the way that picked up.
It's everything's a fact until somebody proves it wrong, and then that fact now becomes fake news. He
referred to a bunch of stuff that, and now I'm quoting Joe Rogan. All right, so YouTube, please be gentle. All right, so he was saying that they call things misinformation, but then months later these things are being found to be true. He's like, so when you're saying that, he mentioned cloth masks don't work. He said if you say cloth masks are not as effective, that if you said that 6 months ago, you would be like barred, you'd be like taken off of, deplatformed or whatever. But now the science agrees with that cloth masks are not ideal. He also said that if you said that if you got the jab, that you could still catch it and spread it. And he said if you said that 6 months ago, they would have taken you off and deplatformed you and called it misinformation. He said, but here we are, X amount of months later, and this is true. So really, misinformation is who's the guy that created, who discovered gravity, quote unquote? Was that like Newton or something like that?
Oh, you're way over my head, buddy.
Yeah, he whoever it was, I think it was Newton. Imagine he brought that up, and it's just like the witch trials, and shit like that. It's like, okay, you're, this is craziness, this is blasphemy, like this isn't real.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he made I think he did it also to take some heat off of Spotify, and then he also apologized because that he kind of feels bad that it seems like he feels bad that Spotify's getting all this is happening to them.
Yeah, since they got involved with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, exactly. They paid this dude so much fucking money, and now this is happening. But I mean, I'm sure he brings in more views than Neil Young.
I mean, of course he does, but it becomes sad. Yeah, it was Isaac Newton was the one that first brought up gravity. But anyway, I do agree with you. Agree with you there that what was it you just said?
I don't know. I got what I'm going to say next in my head. And
all right, let's just transition because I was going to go back and say that I know. You said who cares? He brings in more views than Neil Young.
Oh,
so
yeah.
then I thought Neil Young, for now that's cool, but what happens when it's an artist that does bring a ton of views, starts trying to do this? What happens when Ariana Grande is like, you know what? I don't like Joe Rogan, and she's got like 300 million monthly listeners or something like that. Then what?
That'd be pretty fucking interesting.
But I don't want you to lose what you're going to say. Go.
Well, no, what I was going to say is that Spotify also put out something, and they said that they were going to try to add those COVID-19 information, informational tags that you get on
like a disclaimer, right?
Say that word.
Like a disclaimer, right?
Yeah, like that disclaimer thing where you could click on it and it'll take you to their web page where you could find information about Schmovich, Schmeinschwein. And it's which is cool. It's what Instagram does it, Facebook does it.
But why about this one thing?
I don't know. Man.
Why? What's the obsession?
Oh, because of the doctors, right? And listen, the 200 doctors that signed this fucking petition, and it ended up not even all being doctors.
No, they said this many doctors. The majority of them were writers and shit. I was like, what? I was like, what are we talking about?
There was a housekeeper in there, a phlebotomist.
I agree. With
200 dudes. They should have said that. 200 dude and dudettes.
Not even. Just humans.
200 humans.
200 humans.
You got to be careful with that one. I want to make sure I include everybody. 200 humans.
And here's Spotify. They're like, 200 people are upset. What are Joe Rogan's numbers this month? And they're like, 156 million downloads. And he's like, tell me again, how many doctors? And they said 200. He said, get Joe in here.
You know what's funny is that when you think about it, there must have been some heavy hitters on that list because that's not that many people. People have weddings with more people than that.
Heavy hitters in terms of what? The influence that they almost had?
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's just, this is a protected group. People that want to advocate for the Shman Shmemic. Those people are like protected. And you have to listen to them. There could be 6 of them. There could be 6 of them. And you got to stop the planet and let them talk. Just like that little girl about climate change. Get that little pendejita off the screen.
Who are you talking about?
That girl that's like in 6th grade, so always reading some heroic shit about climate.
I know who you're talking about.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on, bro.
Funny.
You kidding me? That's a child.
Saying you don't believe in climate change?
I'm saying that's a child. And everybody's listening to her ideas about climate change. I'm like, come on with that. Come on with that. What is this? The Doogie Howser of climate? Get out of here.
I'll tell you one thing. You ever seen that kid that won like all the spelling bee contests?
Let him spell all he wants.
He could talk to me about climate change.
He could talk to me about spelling. That's what he could talk to me about.
No, that kid was fucking smart.
Talk to me.
I definitely wouldn't take any advice from him about climate change, but
Nah, for sure.
I know who you're talking about. It is funny listening to her talk though.
Yeah, I mean it's so funny how like she got dubbed kind of this hero, and I'm like, who is this person? What are her credentials?
Who told you to say this?
Yeah, I'm like, you thought of this all yourself? I'm like, that's cool. I mean, I feel like it was one of those things where they were like, okay, kids, now we're all gonna write a letter to a senator. And we're going to send them out. Remember when they used to do that when you're like in elementary school?
Yeah.
You write a letter like, I wish that my governor would make Santa Claus come 3 times a year. Like, like that stupid shit. And I think hers just got out of control.
Those are the $200. You ever have a pen pal when you were a kid?
Nah.
My school used to do pen pals. And they used to do like different countries and shit.
Get out of here, yeah?
Yeah. You used to like get somebody from like a different country and I don't even remember if that's true. These motherfuckers are far. It might have been from Jersey or something like that. But they used to do pen pals.
It was probably a school district or something nearby.
You had to write people. You had to write the kid like, hey, what's up? My name's fucking George and I'm fucking, blah, blah, blah. And they would write you back and shit.
Like, dear Jeffrey Epstein.
It was like back then they used to teach you how to write a check in school. They used to teach you how to send a letter, like how to put your name and the address, like the return address, and how to put. I don't think they teach shit like that anymore.
Nah, I do remember doing that. I actually remember I was taught how to fill out a check.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You used to teach you how to fill out
home
checks.
ec.
Yeah,
in home ec, they taught us how to write a check. Taught us how to like balance a checkbook.
Yeah, they don't teach that shit anymore. I don't believe they do at least.
Nah, they definitely don't.
Yeah, man. They used to. Weird in hindsight. Oh, please hold. Bam. Just like that. That hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, man. You know what did that?
Us talking shit about it last week.
Last time we were like, yep, tech issues. Everything figured out. Everything good.
We got everything fucking mastered.
Going smooth, and then here we are.
Bam. Main camera goes out. You want to get into our clickbait of the week? Tom Brady retired? Question mark. Everybody's saying Tom Brady's retiring. It all says like sources close to Tom say.
It's hilarious. Everybody except Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's the only one that hasn't came out and said, I'm retiring.
Yeah, everybody's like, hey, Tom, in case you didn't know, you're retiring.
I wonder if this shit's gonna end up being. It's not even like trending anymore. It's like it was really big over the weekend, and I just seen it kind of die down.
I feel like he's like, I'm out of here. I just tied a game, last 30 seconds. They can't figure it out. I can't do everything.
Either that, or it's like maybe they were trying to like, because they're saying that there was like some kind of they were looking at like restructuring the team somehow, some way. In Tampa Bay, and maybe that's just his way of like saying like, motherfucker, I'll just leave.
Antonio Brown's getting in his ear.
Yeah, you think so?
He's like, yo, Tom, you know they said you soft over there, right?
He said, I didn't want to say that when I was there, but
Yeah.
they used to talk mad shit about you.
Yo, bro, everybody's just saying, oh, Tom skipping the weight room again, huh? Yeah, resistance bands. Yeah, resistance bands.
That guy does whatever the fuck he wants.
You know he don't lift weights?
I believe it.
Yeah, apparently it's all like resistance band stuff
You ever
and like
seen him run?
calisthenics. Nah. I seen him
thing.
throw some bombs.
Yeah, he could throw the ball. He looks dumb running though. No, but listen, if he,
It's not his thing.
yeah, no, it's okay. I look dumb running too. I look dumber running. He if he did retire, like he's got nothing more to prove to me.
Yeah. But, you know, if ideally you win a Super Bowl and announce your retirement at the Super Bowl.
Well, that's the way people want to go out.
You know, but he's already had like 83 chances to do that.
He should have done that last year when they
Or
won
the year
Super Bowl.
before. Or the year before that. Or the year before that. Or the, you know.
You know, yeah, he's won so many times that, you know, but I don't know. You're right. Going out on top is the best way to go out, but maybe he's like he's just one of those guys that's like, oh no, I'm going to come back and I'm going to win again next year.
Yeah.
And he made it to the playoffs.
He might. Imagine he was like, I'm going back to New England for a season and then I'll retire. It's crazy, man.
No, Tom, that wasn't our end. That was your end.
Yeah,
that was us.
but interesting. Interesting, man.
Yeah. I'm not like I said, if he does retire, I'm not mad at him.
I'm not mad either. I like it when people pack it in and they're still healthy. You know, I don't want him to the last thing I want from him is to retire like when, you know, he's getting sacked like 14 times a season and shit like that.
Oh, you don't want to see him get hurt, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I
mean, the guy's still playing well, right? So
he's playing very well.
He's still competitive. That's probably like one of those battles, like, you know, you're still competitive, like, but you've done so much already. Like, do you still stick around? And you could look at other sports, like you could look at MMA and what Henry Cejudo did. He came in, you know, he dominated. What did he defend his belt 2 or 3 times, if that?
Yeah, something like that. But he also won a belt in another division.
Yeah, he went up and he became the Triple C. He's a champ in UFC and he's an Olympic gold medalist. And he went out on top.
Yeah, he did. But he's already coming back.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like now it's like, maybe he comes back. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't. But he keeps saying it. Like from the day he left, he was talking shit about coming back and making people bend the knee. So maybe it's one of those things he doesn't want to do that. But that's a nice way to go out. But then you're watching from the sideline. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It becomes tough, I think, especially for athletes. I mean, you see this in a lot of professions. I mean, we see cops that stay cops too long. You should have retired. But, you know, when, you know, you see fighters, you see athletes. But I think what happens is so much of your identity gets wrapped up in that. And you're like, this has become my purpose. Like, I'm a football player. Mm-hmm. And if you're not playing football, then what are you? You know, that's when you start to have these guys. That's when you have these guys like these fighters that come back years later only to get knocked out, you know, and it's because you kind of lose that sense of purpose and belonging, you know, like who am I? You know, if I'm not playing football, who the hell am I? I'm Tom Brady, the quarterback.
Yeah, Spaz says you don't want him to go out like Eli Manning. Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
You want to go out like, who was it from the Steelers to bust Jerome Bettis? He won the Super Bowl that year. He stopped playing. That's it. He got a ring.
Yeah,
he's out. But
You got Michael Strahan. You got certain guys that get out and they create a lane for themselves, and then they are able to continue on with their life.
And there's people that don't have a choice, and they go out. They spend their. Tony Romo's a perfect example. A really good quarterback. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but never got a ring. Spent his whole year trying to get that fucking Super Bowl ring. Never got it. I mean, do I think he deserved it? Yeah, but you gotta get it. Whatever people think doesn't matter. Like, you gotta go get it. So at least he's had a career in the sense that he's won so many times. That's what I'm saying. He's done so much already.
There's really, like, what else is there to do besides stay too long and get injured? I mean, that's kind of what else? What else are you gonna do? Nobody's shocked anymore when you tie the game up with a minute left. Nobody's shocked anymore when you throw a 70-yard touchdown pass or some shit. Like, what the fuck?
But you know what's worse than nobody being shocked? Everybody expects it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's worse than everybody, than not having that, it's like everybody just expects you to come back and fucking do what you got to do. It's like
pressure.
And I know I said I didn't watch basketball, but I know that Kobe Bryant was known for turning it on in the second half of the game. It was like the Kobe show, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys like that, like Jordan. Like, the pressure becomes so much. It's like maybe you just want to retire just to have people stop looking at you. Like,
it's gotta not feel good when you played the game that he just played, and the game got away from them. It's gotta feel like, you know what? I don't even want to I don't gotta fucking do this. Maybe he was around the house talking wild shit for like 2 weeks, and then it leaked. But the reality is, he'll be back next season, right?
Yeah, you know who really knows if he's retiring? His wife. That's who really knows. I mean, before I switch jobs or some shit like that, my girl she knows months in advance. When I come home, I'm like, fuck this place. Yep. Listen, man, that's I'm like dicing onions. I'm like, this fucking place.
Then when you leave, she's like, I knew you weren't gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So,
but either way, I don't. Like I said, I'm indifferent. If he leaves now, good for him. If he doesn't, good for him.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just want him to, like I said, just get out, be good, still be able to play with his kids, still be, not having bulging discs everywhere, and not being able to just live a normal life.
Yeah, I want him to be able to transfer to professional frisbee throwing after this. Did you see Jeremy Stevens is no longer on the UFC roster?
No. They dropped him?
Yeah. I don't know if they dropped. I don't know what this.
He's not in the rankings, or he's off the roster?
I'm pretty sure he's off the roster.
Wow. If he's off the roster and he's not fighting for them.
You think he's going to he's going to Eagle FC?
I don't know. You see, Rashad Evans just had a fight in Eagle FC.
They're already fighting over there?
What? Eagle FC is crushing it. Khabib is about to be paid, bro.
I did not know that.
Man, Khabib is about to enter a level that no other athlete has ever entered, ever.
Being an owner, an organization owner?
Yeah, he created a competitor. Imagine if LeBron went and started his own NBA league. LeBron just left, he retired from the sport and started the LBA, or something like that. And it's and then all of a sudden he starts competing for viewers. He starts selling out games, and people are watching this other promotion. That says a lot. This is next level. This isn't starting a whiskey brand. This isn't starting, a clothing line. This isn't starting a YouTube channel. This guy's, that side hustle it's going to be ridiculous, because I know he's going to grow it to a level where it's going to be whether he wants to compete with the UFC or wants to sell to the UFC.
You think he's going to be that? It's going to be that big?
Bro, you watch it. The production value is top notch.
Can you give some context before we get too deep into this? Because we just started talking about Eagle FC and Khabib.
Well, Khabib Nurmagomedov started I think it was pretty clear. He started a promotion that is a competitor in the MMA space.
Okay.
And it's called Eagle FC. And he just had a former UFC champion, Rashad Evans, just had a fight over there, and it was a good fight. It was a competitive fight. He looked good, but it's just this is going to be a way different level of like entrepreneurship following an athletic career. It's going to be next level, bro.
Well, he's got such a big demographic. I don't think it. Listen, I hope he does grow to the size of what the UFC is right now, but I don't know if it'll get that big.
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, he himself, his following is enormous. Huge. It's enormous. Like if you look like these short videos, look the Rashad Evans versus Gabriel Checo. That's the fight that he had. Eagle FC 44 has 340,000 views in 2 days. You know, I mean, that's a lot of eyes on a fight. Like the UFC puts numbers up like that in 2 days.
Yeah.
These numbers.
I was just gonna say, actually, let me look at the see what the UFC gets. I don't know what they get. What is that on YouTube?
Yeah, and this is of course I'm trying to find a video because this is a video that it's Rashad Evans versus Gabriel Checo. Like there's it's a 5-minute video.
YouTube's getting, UFC's getting a good amount of views on YouTube, and then they got some that don't get that many views. Like, some fights on here that got millions of views, but there's videos that didn't get a lot of love. But they don't primarily put their stuff out on YouTube, so that'd be it'd be like a bad metric to gauge.
But Eagle FC doesn't either. But they put a lot of their content on YouTube. That's probably the majority of their viewers. The UFC is probably on there.
YouTube?
Yeah. They have a lot of viewers. They have a lot of viewers on YouTube.
I don't see it. I don't watch it. I watch all their shit like on ESPN. I watch it all live.
Yeah, but I mean back catalog stuff.
Oh yeah, but the back catalog stuff has a lot. Like that's what I'm saying. The fights that are on there have a lot of views. So look, even their press conferences get millions of views. But I was just looking at, and I keep going back out of the app. I was just looking at the original Israel Adesanya Robert Whittaker fight. It had a couple million views. They got, let's just see, Adesanya Whittaker. Oh no, that's not the whole fight. It had 1.5. The fight's got 1.5 million views. Some of their stuff has a lot of views. Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I hope it does get to the size of the UFC. And I hope maybe they could do some work together. The one thing that's interesting is like you never see any like cross promotions because there's no other promotions that are as big as the UFC. Yeah. So it's never beneficiary for the UFC to do a cross promotion with anybody else because everybody else is so much smaller in comparison to them.
Yeah, but they do absorb everybody.
They do.
They just take over organizations. They just take them over and take them over. So that's what I'm saying. Like the Eagle FC, I wouldn't be surprised if down the line the UFC acquires it.
Oh, yeah. But in addition to that, if they ever got as big as the UFC, it'd be sick to watch like a UFC versus Eagle FC. Like how cool would it be? Just like even right now, it'd be cool to watch a UFC versus Bellator, right? If
they would run through Bellator.
But imagine this. They did. You know how Bellator has those like tournament bracket style things? Imagine they do like one of those UFC versus Bellator. How it'd be amazing. It'd generate so many views. But it'd be primarily way more beneficiary for Bellator because it would give them so much more exposure.
Yeah, it would. They would have to cut the UFC. Like the UFC would have to do that split like 60-40.
Bellator had to do that shit for fucking free.
Well, Scott Coker he's done good with Bellator. Bellator is rather big now.
No, they're very big, but UFC is mainstream. And that would bring that to the mainstream audience. And then the mainstream audience can make the decision of what they want, if they want to go check that out. A lot of people don't even know Bellator exists.
Yeah. Well, if you're completely unfamiliar with the entire space of MMA, you know that. You don't know that.
Yeah. People who just watch Conor fights don't know that Bellator exists. People who just watch the big names. There's a lot of people I believe that don't know. I think that we're just like
if you can't really know anything about MMA, even you can't even know 5% about MMA and not know Bellator exists.
Okay, well, there's a lot of people who still watch fights that don't know 5%. Then I guess that don't know that Bellator exists.
They're just walking in to a bar and the fight is on and they're not looking.
No, dude.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of people. I think that you're just too deep in.
I guess I can't see. I can't see anything else.
You're too deep that you think that it's like, what? People don't know what Bellator is?
What do
No
you
fucking
mean?
way. I think there's a lot.
What do you
of people
mean
that
your
don't
wife
know.
doesn't watch Invicta? Are you kidding me? You know?
It'd be cool to watch the New York Giants versus the the St. James High School if we're talking about big leagues versus little leagues. No, Bellator is still a big league. They're not like there's a lot of fighters that come from Bellator that end up fighting in the UFC and vice versa.
And typically get their ass beat.
Yeah, but Michael Chandler's from Bellator.
Yeah.
He got his ass beat his last fight, but he came in
And cracked Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, that train stopped pretty quick.
Either way, I think it'd be interesting to see something like that with. It's like, dude, it's like the World Series when, like, you know, everybody plays for their country. You ever seen the World Series of baseball?
Yes.
It's like that, or like soccer. The way soccer is club soccer, and then there's like international soccer where you play for your country.
Yeah.
It's like it's always cool to see those club teams.
Yeah,
They
it
got,
definitely
like,
is,
they're
but
stacked, you know.
But those are equal teams. I mean, you have, you know, because you have all the people in Major League Soccer that are big popping individual stars, then they go and represent their home country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just like basketball in the Olympics, you know, you have these incredible NBA teams, but then a lot of those people go home and play for their countries. So you have the best players that are now dispersed amongst all the teams. But the UFC has all the best fighters. So if you do the UFC versus Bellator, bro, there's 10 guys that would run through Michael Venom Page, that would rip his head off in the UFC. Like you can't, like, he would not be hopping around and floating at the top of the UFC.
I'm not saying it'd be incredibly,
and he's the face of that. He's the face of that organization.
I'm not saying it'd be incredibly competitive. I'm just saying it'd be cool to watch.
It would be cool to watch, and I would love to see the UFC display their dominance. I would love that. Who you got for Kamaru? Who?
No, yeah.
Who you got for Colby? Who you got for Francis?
It'd be really, really cool to watch. It's like, listen, it's like the way wrestling did, like SmackDown versus Raw. Like those aren't really. They were back in the day. They didn't used to be. They used to just be two different nights of wrestling.
Yeah, they're the same organization.
I know.
It's pretend.
But I think. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that you know.
But I see like
I don't want you being misled.
No. I didn't. I learned a couple of days ago that this whole thing is fucking a sham. No, but now I see like SmackDown versus Raw, and in my mind I'm like, they're the same thing. And then somebody explained it to me. It's like, nah, some wrestlers are like SmackDown wrestlers, some wrestlers are like Raw wrestlers.
Would they unionize?
I don't know, bro. But
yeah, but that makes sense. I know because some of them. Is it still Monday and Thursday?
That I don't know.
Yeah, that's like our podcast. You know, it used to be Monday Night Raw.
You could watch Raw tonight, or you could watch us talk Raw. Ugh.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think it's a little better.
I had an opportunity to say something disgusting there, and I didn't.
Thank you for that.
I'm growing up.
Yeah, you are, man.
Right in front of our eyes.
I'm watching you mature right in front of our audience and right in front of me, sitting directly across from me. I'm watching the growth,
60 episodes, I would have said something disgusting.
Please, episode 2, 3, 4.
But yeah, that's pretty much. You got anything else? I know you had a couple things you wanted to talk about. I don't want to. We're at the hour mark.
Nah, I think I'm good. You know, I did on my way here. I did have a neighbor hold me like hostage. Like I came out carrying all my stuff, and he just wants to start talking. I'm like, don't you see all the shit I'm holding? You just gonna keep talking?
What would you want to talk to you about?
Just talking about bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on. He's like, where are you going? You're heading out? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going on my way. I'm like turning, and he's like, huh? So I was just at meat farms, and I'm like, what the? I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? So, God damn it. That's not why we were as late as we were.
That guy's been trying to tell somebody that story for fucking 6 hours.
Yeah, well, I was Jordan. It was him.
Justin's neighbor calls him Jordan for years.
It's outrageous.
He writes some Christmas cards and says like, what's this? He addresses them to him.
To Bree and Jordan.
No, we're probably late because of me, right? Because of the dog.
We're late because of you for multiple reasons, but yes, because of the dog, mostly.
No. Now that I think about it, we're not late because of me.
Why are we late?
Some of it's because of my dog. So, fun fact, when we record, I put the dog outside so he doesn't make any fucking noise and ruin our fucking podcast. But it's 29 degrees outside.
Yeah, can't put him out there.
So I feel bad. So we had to figure something out. And we got creative today. It took a little time, but that's okay.
Nah, but it's all good. We're still light years earlier than we used to be.
Yeah, 100%. So Masters of None episode 73.
And we're going to fix that so you guys don't.
That. No one's going to even know. How are they going to know?
How are they going to know what?
No one's going to know.
No one's going to know what?
Exactly. Masters of None, episode 73. If you're still around, please give us a thumbs up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Shout out to Tom in the chat tonight. Thank you for the hour mark comment. And we're on Spotify and all your other podcast platforms. That's that.
All of them. That's it.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión.